Hey guys, I'm Clever but Disturbing, and I'd like to welcome you to my very first LP. Today, I'm going to be playing a game that is one of my all-time favorites. I've been playing it since I was a little kid, like 4 or 5 years old, and I really love it, and I still love it to this day. And I really hope you enjoy it too. And it's a fairly, like I said, I've been playing since I was 4 or 5, so it's an older game. As you saw, it's for the PS1, and the game I'm playing is Spyro the Dragon. I really hope you enjoy it. There's a little Nork on a mountain. I always thought the Norks in this game looked like... I always thought they were like giant mutant frogs when I was little, but mostly because I think all of the ones in the first worlds are like green, and so I just really did think they were giant mutant frogs. And there's, of course, the hero of the game, Spyro. So let's start a new game and start on this journey, and we'll see what's going on. Here we go, guys. In the world of dragons. A good place for a story about dragons.
Okay, rolling.
Oh, it's been peaceful here in the 5 worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age. We now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Ganasty Gnort character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature. Vampire. He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon King. No threat! Besides, he is ugly. That
Uh-oh.
Looks like I've got some things to do.
The adventure begins, and yes, this is how our adventure begins. The dragons go on television, because apparently dragons have their own, like, broadcasting network, and apparently Gnasty Gnork subscribes to their broadcasting network, and so he sees them insult him. So basically the point of this game is to rescue all of the dragons from being crystallized, and right here we get started off directly in front of our first dragon, so let's go rescue him, shall we? Rescued Nestor.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the artisan world. Then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
Little Spyro, he's just ready to go, but nobody's ready to let him get at Gnasty Gnork, but he's ready for it. So, as you notice, there's a couple different things Spyro can do. You can charge with the square button, which is what I'm doing right now. With the circle button, he has a nice flame breath attack, as should be expected from any dragon. X jumps, and if you press X a second time after you jump, you can glide for a little way. You can't straight out fly. Now here are Norks, the enemies of the game. Come back here, you. The ones in the home world here are really cowardly. And the hardest part about fighting them is figuring out where they go to when they run away, because they're just big chickens. Ah, where did you go, Nork? I'll find you later. So, anyways, there are 6 home worlds, which it's sort of the hub world. We're in the first one now, the Artisan's Home. There are 3 regular levels in each home world. And then there is also a special flight level, as well as a boss level. And I'm also planning on 100%ing this game, because it's really easy to do. And that means freeing all 80 dragons, collecting all of the gems, and there's quite a lot, let me tell you, and also rescuing dragon eggs. So there's a lot to do, and hopefully our little purple hero is up for the task. Ugh, cowardly Nork. Oh, and up there I see the one that ran away earlier. If you leave them alone long enough, they come back to where you originally saw them. Got you. So, first we're just gonna run through and clear out the home world. Over here's another dragon, so let's go ahead and rescue him. Rescued Delbin.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro. You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
Right, so just like that dragon Delbin was talking about, if you look behind Spyro, there's a little dragonfly named Sparks he follows behind. Right now, he's all shiny and gold. He is basically your health indicator for the game. And another thing about this game, it changes in some of the sequels, but Spyro cannot get in water. So if you hit water, he takes damage, and you notice that Sparks changes color and loses his bright glow. Now he's blue. If you take another hit, he turns green. And finally, if you take a third hit, he disappears entirely. And now if you were to take one more hit, you would die. But, over here we have sheep. When you flame one, Sparks comes back. If you haven't lost Sparks and you kill a sheep, then a butterfly comes out and Sparks eats it to regain health. So that's basically how you regain health in this game. They're not always sheep. Sheep are mainly the ones you see here in the artisan homes. But it changes later on. They might be lizards or random little creatures that I'm not even sure what they are. But every area sort of has its own little... The game refers to them as fodder. And that's how you keep your health up. So let's see, go through here and collect more gems. That guy back there was Marco, the balloonist. That's who the dragon told us to talk to after we rescue 10 dragons here in the Artisan Lands. And he will take us to the next world. But first, we actually have to rescue 10 dragons. So we're not just going to stop there. We're actually going to completely clear out the Artisan Lands before we move on to the next world. Now, if you look over there, there's a treasure chest and some gems up on that platform. But if we jump off this hill and hit X right at the top of our jump, we can glide over there and get it. And there we go. Okay. So, let's go over here. Here's more treasure. More treasure chests. Them all. You want to get all of these gems. Yeah. Money. Love it. And we're going to rescue another dragon. Rescued Argus.
Cool Flash. Do that again.
The artisan's boss is through a portal in the dragon mouth. But you are not yet ready, Spyro. First you must complete one of the other artisan lands.
So yeah, just like he said, before we can actually take on the boss of the Artisan's Lands, we have to complete at least one of the other levels. We're probably going to go ahead and do all 3 before we ever challenge the boss. But yeah, it's so sad. Nobody has any faith in Spyro to be able to do this, but yet none of them seem to be offering to, like, lend a hand. You know, you're free now, you could help, but they're just like, no, we're just gonna, you know, disappear. Leave him to it. And right here, we already had another dragon. Rescue Tomas.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
Yeah, if that dragon didn't make it clear, in this game there are so many places where you can fall down and die. In fact, I would almost bet money that I'm probably going to die more times playing this game from falling down than like 2 times the amount of times that I'm going to die from actual enemies. Because the enemies, for the most part in this game, are not that bad. Not falling into like deep chasmous abysses, on the other hand, that's pretty hard not to do, actually. Especially at certain levels. But all of the ones here in the Artisan Homes are pretty easy. They start you off pretty nice and slow. Oh, right here's some more gems. Oh, and see, look at this, I'm already falling. Thankfully that particular fall wasn't into an abyss, but this bodes well for how the rest of this game's going to go. It's probably just going to be me falling off of things all the time. Okay, we don't want to go in there just yet. Oh, almost fell again. Okay, now if you look over here on top of these little buildings, even though they don't have doors, so I'm not sure exactly what their purpose is, they sort of look like, you know, like grain silos or something like that. So we want to go back in the vortex, and there's some more on the other side that we need to go get. Okay. Ah! Camera. Come on, work with me, camera. There we go. Okay. Let's see. We're still missing some treasure, though. Where could it be at? They love sticking gems anywhere they can. Oh, that sounded kind of naughty. I didn't mean for it to, but it did. Whoops. Anywhere they can in these levels, and so you really just have to look and scour. I normally just charge around and look. The actual glint of the gem sort of clips in before the gym itself, so if you just look around and just look for little sparkles, you can kind of figure out where they're at. I didn't really... There we go. I think that's the last two we needed. Yep, and now if you look, you can press start and it opens up a menu. And right there, you can go to inventory and you will see that we have all 100 gems in the home world and all 4 dragons in the home world. But we're only 2% through the game. So that's 98% left to go. And while I'm at it, I think I'll go ahead and go into the first actual level of the Artisan World, which is right here at Stone Hill. So let's go at it, shall we? I really like the background here. You can see the bright blue sky and the sea and the rolling green hills. It's very picturesque. And here we go, into the first level. I already see treasure. They just leave it lying around. Like it's not guarded or anything. Just out in open fields. And here we have rams. And they're really easy. Just ram them. Ram the rams. I mean, really, if you're going to like have a headbutting contest between a ram and a dragon, which one do you think is going to win? Even if the dragon in question is rather tiny and purple. I'm personally going to still bet on the dragon because dragons are awesome, and if you don't think so, then you can go home. Even though you probably already are watching this at home, but you can leave your home and then turn around and go straight back there. Rescued Lindar. That's an odd name.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
No, Spyro would never run into trouble. He's a well-behaved little dragon. What are you thinking about, Lindar? You don't know what you're talking about. Your name is Lindar. I'm really sorry if there's anybody out there whose name is Lindar. I don't know, I've just never heard anybody with that name before. I don't know, it may be some cultural name that I've just never come in contact with, but to me it just sounds a little strange because I've never heard it before. So if that is actually your name, I'm sorry if I offend you. I'm kind of sorry if I offend you, I don't know. I don't know what kind of person you are, I may not be sorry. I may want to offend you. Okay, turn around camera. Oh, I know what's wrong. My camera is set to passive, and I need to set it to active. There we go. That should help a lot. Ugh. That's like normally the first thing I do whenever I play any Spyro game is change the camera. And here's another dragon. Rescued Aster.
After you freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya.
I really love, like, all the old dragons in this game. They all have the most humorous dialogue out of any of the dragons. But first, let me tell you a story. And this vortex thingamajig, those are some of my favorite quotes from him. Oh, and I almost forgot. This well here, if you jump down it, there's actually another dragon down here. They're just stuck everywhere. Rescued Gavin.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
So yeah, he's just basically telling us, you know, eat butterflies, kill fodder. That's how you don't die. But I already told you that, so nothing new. And you also might have noticed there was a safe down there. And lots of levels in this game have a safe that contains gems. But the only way to open the safe is actually to find the key. We can't break it open like we do treasure chests in those little metal containers. You actually have to have a key for it. And here in this area, there are these shepherds, and they used to give me so much trouble when I was a kid. I don't know why. Now they don't, you know, give me that much trouble. When I was a kid, they used to always... I guess I used to try to get too close to them to flame them, and they would, like, whack me up the side of their head with their little shepherd's hook. And it was just really frustrating. Like, I'm pretty sure I died from those guys when I was a little kid because they would just, like, knock me away over and over. And it was just really sad and upsetting when I was seeing them before. When I was a wee little tyke. Let's see, this is the only one left. Killed all your buddies, now your turn. And right in here, there's another little whirlwind. Full of sparkles and magic and whatnot. And up here at the top, we find some treasure. Yay, treasure, and another dragon. Rescued Gildas.
Spyro, So, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the X button at the top of a jump, and try pressing the triangle button to drop down in mid-flight.
So yeah, just like he said, when you're flying, if you want to stop all of a sudden, you can hit triangle and you will drop suddenly to the ground like I just did. Now, the first game, that can kind of mess you up a little bit, because in the second and third game, triangle actually makes you hover for a little bit. It does make you drop and stop where you're at, but it gives you a little bit of added height first. Whereas here in the first game, it just makes you drop straight down. So if you've been playing the second or third game, and then you come back to this one and try to hover, you will fall. Probably to your death. And if you look over there, there in the blue robe, we see some shifty character. And I think he's holding something, and I think we want it. Come back here. See, I'm gonna get you. Oh, I almost fell off. I told you. This entire game just gonna be me falling off of things. That's it. Almost there. Ah! I was gonna try and toast him, but I missed. Come back here. Oh my god, that totally should have got him. He, like, ran through my flame. Okay, oh my god, I should not be struggling this much with the first thief of the game. That's what these guys are. They are thieves. And Spyro has to catch. Oh my god. Come back here. There we go. Finally got him. And what is this? He had a dragon egg. It's all pink and sparkly, and it just boops Spyro right on the nose before it disappears. Okay, so now we're up here on the outer edge of the level. Now if you look over here, these markers, these stone pillars, actually mark the edge of the level, and there's like a little force field there that you can't go through. Funny story, when I was a kid, I used to think that I could find like a secret spot that would let me through the force field, and I could just like get out into the world and explore it and go everywhere. Now I realize that this is a game and that's not how things work, but when I was a little kid, I was, you know, that was my plan, that I was going to make it through the force field. I would try to like fly over it. I was like, I'm going to get out there. Now I know that if I was to accomplish that, I would have probably just glitched out the game and like saw through the bottom of the world. But when I was a little kid, my imagination was just everywhere, and I thought, you know, if you could get past the invisible wall, you could just run throughout the entire dragon world. Okay, so up here, these are the buildings we actually walked through earlier. If you look down here in the edges, there's gems stuck down in here, so you want to be sure not to miss those. Just jump and make your way all the way around, and you should be able to get them all. Oh, I just ran into the wall. Okay, there's that one up there. One handy thing about Sparks, aside from, you know, protecting you like the one dragon says and keeping you from dying, is that he knocks the gems into you, so you don't have to actually touch them. You just have to get pretty close to them, and he will knock them into you. Unfortunately, after you've taken 3 hits of damage and Sparks isn't with you, that doesn't happen. It actually takes Sparks being there to knock them, which kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it can be really aggravating when you don't have him around, and it always seems like right when you've lost Sparks is when there's like a buttload of gems around that you need, and so you have to make it a point to walk directly into every single one of them. I saw that gem over there, and I'm going to go back and get it. I'm just afraid of accidentally walking too far and getting to the vortex. And there's the key. Okay, so these metal chests, we saw some earlier. One thing about them is that unlike the other treasure chests, if you flame them, nothing happens. Because one of the things in Spyro games is that metal is impervious to flame. So the only way to break open these is to charge them. The other chests actually, no matter what you do, if you flame them or charge them, they'll break. But those have to be charged. Okay, get that gem, and now up. And look at this. We're missing 10 gems, I believe. But we still have to go and open that safe down in the well, and here we are. So we're going to jump down inside, turn around, and there's the safe. Okay, and here's a little cutscene. The key just floats out. Everything is magic and sparkles in this game. And there's our gems. Let's see, 200 out of 200. Check our inventory, 200 out of 200 gems. We got the dragon egg, 4 out of 4 dragons. We have finished Stone Hill. So now we're going to do like that dragon said. Now that we've got everything in the level, we're going to go get in that vortex thingamajigger, and we're going to head out of here. And head back to the artisan home. Here we go, up onto the platform, and away we go. So that was the Artisan Homeland, and also Stone Hill. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you stick around and watch the rest of this LP. Thanks for watching.